We're on the Causeway Coastal Route this week for the Todsley.com Ulster International Rally, the penultimate round of the Citroën Irish Tarmac Championship. Gareth McHale is favourite and chasing the championship dream in a Focus WRC. Alistair Fisher leads on points driving a Group N car. Aaron McHale, Focus WRC equipped, also has an outside chance, as has Craig Breen in his Super 2000 Fiesta. But there are a few spanners in the works, like former tarmac champion Derek McGarrity, reigning British champion Keith Cronin, and British Rally Championship leader Kerry Duff's Johnny Greer. These drivers could all take away points from the Irish Tarmac Championship racers. The stage is set by the Northern Ireland Motor Club for some glorious rallying over some glorious strips of tarmac, all in County Antrim this year. With the Ulster International, a round of the Citroën Irish Tarmac Rally Championship, British Rally Championship, and even the British Historic Championship. It's a rallying festival for many fans. The delights of the Causeway Coastal Route stretch from the extraordinary Giant's Causeway to the north and down through the pretty little villages and towns like Cushingdun and Ballycastle. It's these areas of the Glens of Antrim that the rally crews will traverse over the next 2 days. Antrim Centre is the venue for the start, with the centralised service once again based at the Junction 1 shopping complex. The main protagonists have time to chat as the 1:30 Friday start approaches. And the Irish Tarmac title favourite Gareth McHale starts at number 1.
We need to finish here first and foremost and try and get as much points as we can. Obviously we're going to go for the win there, myself, Derek, Aaron in the World Rally Cars, but really we've had sort of torrential rain here, but as you can see it's starting to pass now, so hopefully the stage will be dry and should hopefully have a good run.
At number 2 is Derek McGarrity.
Done quite a few rallies in the south of Ireland this year and had mixed but fairly good results, so looking forward to get back out against the tarmac guys just to see what the pace is like.
Derek has had mixed fortunes in his home international in the past. Gareth's brother Aaron McHale has an outside chance of the tarmac title.
To win it I'd need a bit of luck. I think Garrett's probably in the best position with the dropped scores as compared to myself and Alistair. This rally I suppose is going to be a bit hard. I haven't been rallying up in this part of the country. I found the recce quite tough yesterday. We were out until nearly 10 o'clock last night and I suppose there's a bit of an advantage for the lads with that. But it's a long rally and the main thing is to get points out of here and then hopefully that we'll be still in the hunt going to Cork, and with points and a half there anything can happen.
Arjen de Koning from Holland provides international flavour with his Group A Mitsubishi Evo. Gwyndaf Evans and Keith Cronin will be head-to-head for the British Rally Championship honours in the Rally Northern Ireland section. Johnny Greer leads the British series in his Evo 9, whilst Alistair Fisher's success has been mainly at home.
It's been a very good year so far. I'm very pleased with the way things have went. Hopefully we can pick up some more good points here this weekend and bring it to the last round in Cork.
Craig Breen is just back from Rally Finland with his Fiesta S2000.
Probably went to the worst place in the world I could have for building confidence. We went to Finland, after building the car back up again after the accident, and had 2 really progressive days, and steadily improved on everything. And we ended up at the end of the weekend on a really good pace that I was confident with. The equipment was probably more than I've ever had before.
Day 1 of the Todsley.com Ulster Rally and 6 stages. It's the new Knockboy stage near Brishane. Legendary Glendon and Torhead test repeated twice. The August weather has been very kind indeed as the WRC crews head the field out towards the opening fast Knockboy stage. Gareth McHale is first to tackle these high-speed jumps with the Focus WRC. Though he's not the fastest on the first stage, however, by the end of the third test on Torhead, Gareth holds the slenderest of leads. Derek McGarrity leaps to fastest time on the opening Knockboy stage and is fastest on Glendon, despite difficulty with a very tight chicane. However, a loss of a few seconds here on stage 3 Torhead means he heads to service 0.3 of a second behind Gareth. Aaron McHale and Eugene O'Donnell make a slow start to the event, Aaron taking a while to dial into his Focus, having just returned from a holiday. Arjen de Koning is a good bit behind Aaron, but simply loving the Glens of Antrim stages. Gwyndaf Evans still has a strong chance of his second British Rally title and starts very strongly, first Group N car and second of the Rally NI runners. Cork's Keith Cronin and Enniskillen co-driver Barry McNulty are, as ever, very committed. But after toppling a small wall with the front of the Subaru, after understeering on Glendon, they're chasing Gwyndaf 12 seconds back after 3 stages. Alistair Fisher and Rory Kennedy's last outing ended with a roll on Rally Isle of Man. Stage 1, they have a huge fright. It's a good recovery, and Alistair is under orders to finish this event and secure tarmac championship points. The Revolution Wheels cars being wheeled along the fabulous Tour Head test at great speed, despite a broken front damper which loses them some time.
Small crest, 80 slowing.
After 3 tests, they're joint 4th in Rally NI, but also ahead of Aaron McHale's WRC Focus on time and therefore points. Craig Breen and Gareth Roberts are fresh from a fine 19th overall finish on the WRC Rally Finland event. However, their last tarmac event was Donegal. They had a heavy accident, so Craig's looking to get confidence back on the sealed surfaces. Doesn't take long, however. Glendon and Craig is 8.5 seconds faster than his nearest Rally NI rival to move into the lead. It's a committed attack, and after the first loop he's third fastest on the whole event, behind the WRC cars of McHale and McGarrity. It's an ideal start back onto the tarmac surfaces for Craig and Gareth, who starred in an ST Fiesta on this event last year. Johnny Greer impressively leads the British Rally Championship after a season to date of speed and consistency. However, he needs to be aiming to get ahead of Cronin and Evans, but he's taking time to warm up. But on stage 1, time is about to run out for Dave Weston Jr. As Daniel McKenna passes, thankfully everyone is okay after this massive accident, which claimed an RPM camera and tripod. The young Monaghan driver has taken a gamble to try an Evo instead of his 2.5 Mark II Escort, and his talent sees him in joint 6th place with Alistair Fisher after 3 stages.
Onto the second day 1 loop, 3 blasts over the same tests. Gareth McHale is first on the road as he sweeps along stage 5, the glorious Glendon stage, a Circuit of Ireland and Ulster Rally classic in the past. As co-driver Bryan Bouffier reads out the many crests, dips and corners, their rally lead is extended to 9.5 seconds after a great run over the Tour Head stage.
With a good run over Tour Head, it's a fantastic stage, and yeah, it's going to be all to play for now tomorrow. But obviously, as I said, we're driving for the championship, but it will be a great rally to win, and we have a bit of a cushion now, 9.5 seconds. But I know that Derek will go fierce hard tomorrow, but it'll be all to play for.
Derek McGarrity has lost some time on this loop, but the Glengormley driver is looking forward to pushing his S12 Subaru along the fast stretches of Cairncastle and Slemish on day 2.
I intend to push Gareth all the way. You know, tomorrow morning we're going on the good stages that I would like the stages tomorrow. They'll suit me better than these stages tonight, so I'm confident that I'll give him a bit of a run. I like coming from behind.
Craig Breen is another driver extending his advantage over his BRC rivals. The Waterford lad will widen the gap to 20.9 seconds overnight. The Super 2000 Fiesta reaches maximum revs and speed on the Glendon stage, and the recent practice on Rally Finland is helping over the jumps and bumps. ahead is simply a driver's favourite, sweeping as it does on the cliff edge from Glendon to Ballycastle. It's rallying in the glens of Antrim at its best. In a high-revving Super 2000, it's just magic.
Fairly cautious start on the first stage. I haven't been on tarmac since the accident in Donegal, so we've been doing a lot on gravel, so bedded myself in, and then two really good stages, one fastest, one second fastest time, and we're having a right ding down battle with Keith now, but Keith's dropped a good bit of time on the first run over Glendon, so we have a good bit of an advantage, maybe 16-17 seconds.
However, Keith Cronin has been on the move and takes time off Craig on the Knocknaboy 2 and Glendon 2 stages to move ahead of Gwyndaf Evans. Keith is now 20 seconds behind Breen and, counting the WRC cars in the equation, 4th overall. Gwyndaf Evans has been superb this season as he's used his years of skill and experience to develop the Evo 10 and put himself in with a chance of the BRC title once more. He lies 9.8 seconds behind rival Keith Cronin overnight, but there are 8 more stages to go and the former Ulster winner can never be discounted. The top 5 leaderboard looks like this, with the 2 WRCs the fastest, followed by the Super 2000 and the Group N runners. 6th overnight, Alistair Fisher is still in a position to collect valuable tarmac championship points. As we can see, he's really trying. Ending the day 4.3 seconds behind him, Daniel McKenna and Andrew Greenan in their hired Evo 9, having turned a few heads today. BRC leader Johnny Greer is a further 2 places back. Marty McCormick, Jason Pritchard and then this man, Mark Donnelly, are next. Then comes Robert Barrable ahead of Irish Evo Challenge leader Neil McCants. Alan Carmichael is a few places further back after a steady start, but it's all over by the end of the day for Alan Ring with engine maladies. Arjen de Koning nearly ends it in Glendon.
The Todsleep.com Ulster International Rally marks the worldwide debut of Citroën's new DS3 rally car. Back in 2006 we had Chris Meek competing in a C2 Super 1600. In 2008 Sebastian Ogier drove the Citroën C2 R2 Max on the event. And now in 2010 French ace Bryan Bouffier is debuting the new DS3 R3 rally car. Bouffier leads the French Rally Championship in a Super 2000 Peugeot and has carried out a lot of the development work on this new front-wheel drive rally car. Featuring a turbocharged 1600cc engine, paddle gear change and suspension similar to the new Citroën DS3 WRC car, it's an all-new type of front-wheel drive being debuted in Ulster. It's another coup for the Ulster Rally. Citroën spent 2 days testing on Cooley Mountain before the event, refining the suspension for Irish roads. More on Bryan and the new car next time on RPM. Day 2 of the Todsleep.com Ulster International, and the event heads towards Larne for the Cairncastle stage. Then there's Slemish and Tardree before the new Langford Lodge stage, which runs along the shores of Lough Neagh. A beautiful, clear Saturday morning greets the crews as they start the first Cairncastle test before 8 a.m. Gareth McHale has a 9.5 second lead entering this stage, and you have to be on the ball early here. However, he almost loses his lead in an instant when he drops 9.4 seconds on this stage, and worse is to come. Derek McGarrity is right on the case this morning, and he follows up the Cairncastle run by taking another 4.2 seconds on the following Slemish test to move into the lead. After 10 stages, that gap is almost unchanged. Craig Breen is a little worried about these tests as the Super 2000 machine is geared for only 108 miles an hour in top, quite a bit down on the Group N turbo cars. He attacks these sweeps and loses 1.6 seconds on this test and 2.3 on the next. Fastest Rally NI time in Tardree and second fastest in Langford Lodge, meaning that his lead is only slightly down to 18.7 seconds. And you have to be careful at times, and slick tyres on the early morning dew.
You know, obviously the tarmac championship is still relatively good for us. We have to look at that as well. I think we're in third place points at the moment with the bonus points, so it's shaping up to be a good result. But I've been here on many occasions before, and it's all gone belly up. So I'm going to just keep my fingers crossed and push on and see what happens.
Keith Cronin has been the fastest of the BRC runners this morning on the Slemish and Langford Lodge stages. The Cork driver still has a chance of a second British Rally Championship title, but to maintain his hopes, he needs to keep ahead of Gwyndaf Evans. No easy task. Gwyndaf starts well, taking 0.6 of a second from Keith on the first Cairncastle test, but a crash on stage 10, Langford Lodge, eventually ends his rally as he thumps a wall at a T-junction. That makes life easier for Keith Cronin.
Should be easier than it was all morning because Gwyndaf was keeping the pressure on, and we're having to push quite hard, but maybe not take the big risks. But yeah, hopefully we can keep it all together now. It's still 4 tough stages, so it won't be easy, but it will be easier with Gwyndaf after having trouble.
Alistair Fisher is more concerned about Irish tarmac points and keeping Gareth McHale in the WRC focus behind him. The young County Tyrone driver is pedalling nicely here in Cairncastle, and after 10 tests, he lies 5 seconds in front of Aaron with 4 remaining stages.
120, 3 right in, 60 over right, and early, 2 right in.
It's a very fast pace out there as the Mitsubishi tops out in 5th gear, somewhere in the region of 135 miles an hour.
1 right long line, 1 left 100, slowing, open 5 left plus. That's thanks Chevron, open 5 left plus.
Daniel McKenna has been a sensation all weekend, but drops 4 places when he stalls at a chicane.
Very surprised at the pace, and we're taking time out of Alistair in some stages and taking time out of Johnny Greer, but no, very happy.
Aaron McHale, however, is on the move up and has really picked up the pace this morning, moving to within 5 seconds of Alistair Fisher. If he gets ahead, it would not only help himself, but also brother Gareth in the title race. Johnny Greer is a little off the pace of the BRC front runners. He's looking forward to getting back onto the gravel for the final track road round. The race at the top of the leaderboard is extremely close, however, between Derek McGarrity and Gareth McHale, ensuring a flat-out finish to the 2010 Ulster Rally. It's all about holding your nerve now.
4 stages to go, and that sort of pressure on your tail, it's going to be very hard to keep it between the hedges.
It is, but I sort of usually excel with a bit of pressure, and we're going into stages that we've been quickest on this morning. Obviously Gareth's going to push as hard as he can, but we'll do the same.
Yeah, Derek's driving very well there today. Obviously we're still driving the championship in mind, as I said there at the start there, and non-finish here, and our championship is over. So 4 stages left, Blum, and to be honest, I wouldn't like to lose the rally by 3 or 4 seconds,
The race at the front with the WRC battle is epic. Derek McGarrity and James McKee are in great form on the second Cairncastle stage, and they extend their lead by 5.7 seconds. On Slemish 2 is a further 1.9 seconds faster to open the lead up to 11.9 seconds. With 2 stages left, Tawdry and Langford Lodge, which is relatively short, it's going to be a tall order for Gareth McHale. He faced a similar situation last year in this rally when he lost out on the final stage to Eugene Donnelly, and he won't want to repeat that. Craig Breen in 3rd place and 1st in Rally NI has a difficult task to maintain a 20-second buffer. In a machine like a Super 2000, you can't afford to slack off, otherwise the car won't work properly, so controlled aggression is the key. But his life has been made easier with a 1-minute penalty being added to Keith Cronin's time. The 208 horsepower 2-litre Fiesta sounds fabulous as it rockets towards 3rd place overall and 1st in the BRC and Rally NI. With Gwyndaf's retirement, Keith Cronin's British Championships hopes have been bolstered before the final round in Yorkshire. Alistair Fisher uses all the road and finishes 6th overall, 3rd in Rally NI, and this result leaves him 2nd in the Citroën Irish Tarmac Rally Championship going into the final round in Cork. Finishing 23 seconds in front of Alistair after a Saturday charge, Aaron McHale nets 4th place Citroën points and now lies 3rd in the series. Daniel McKenna runs a little wide here in Slemish, but worse is to come as he runs out of road on the penultimate Tawdry stage, putting an end to a starring drive.
just clipped the grass on the outside the corners, carrying too much speed, and just if there had been a bit more grass, I might have got away with it. But just left the road and slid down. But no, very little damage to the car. It's just stuck on a bit of a hump, We're actually getting it out, but it was a wee bit too dangerous where we were, so we had to pull out. There's a few cars in there as well, I believe, before me. So that's it.
Indeed, that's it. But despite the crash, his star performance earned him the Pirelli yellow jersey, guaranteeing an entry into the Pirelli shootout contest, where Keith Cronin won his Subaru drive. Johnny Greer is 10th overall and 7th in Rally NI, and still commands a narrow lead in the British Rally Championship. 18-year-old Mark Donnelly, in his first international rally in the Todd's Leap Evo, claims 11th and 8th in Rally NI.
With 2 stages to go, it's head-to-head in the WRC race. Gareth McHale mounts a surprise attack here on Tawdry 2 and swiftly takes 6.7 seconds off that 11.9 second lead. On the final Langford Lodge 2 stage, he'll also be faster by 4 seconds, in fact, over the 6 miles. Has Derek McGarrity let the guard down too much? The answer is no, but he finishes the ToddSleep.com Ulster International Rally with just 1.1 seconds in hand after 14 tough stages over 2 days. 1.1 seconds with 1 missed gear change, and after 180 stage miles, that's nothing. It's Derek's first Ulster Rally victory. At the Junction 1 finish, he's understandably delighted. For Gareth, it's a close second for the 2nd year in a row. In championship terms, it's a very healthy finish, and he's much enjoyed the County Antrim stages this year.
Of course, you came here to lead the championship, and that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, that's the main thing, Plum. It's the most important thing. It means we can go to Cork now with a bit of space and a bit of breathing room. That if that does happen, we're okay. I think we just have to finish in top 3 or 4. So yeah, that's the main thing.
Craig Breen also collects his trophy for winning the Rally NI section of the event and first of the British Championship runners. While Alistair Fisher's Irish tarmac title hopes are looking a little more remote, he has wrapped up Group N.
Nice to win Group N, sort of a bit of history with the Group N, and Mark also competed in Group N, so we're pleased with that.
But with Derek McGarrity and James McKee, it's champagne time in the ToddSleep.com Ulster International Rally. There's a real international flavour amongst the 2-wheel drive runners. The Ulster Rally this year is round 5 of the Citroën Irish Tarmac Championship, a round of the Citroën Racing Trophy UK and Ireland, and it also features for the first time as a round of the British Historic Rally Championship, attracting 50 machines from a bygone era. The stages in this year's rally use the Causeway Coastal Route, and with this event, a round of the British Rally and Historic Championships, it's just a pleasant drive up the coast for the visiting crews to visit the Giant's Causeway or sample the delights of the Bushmills Distillery in this delightful part of the province. From old to new, and the new Citroën DS3 R3 rally car is making its World Rally debut. We're excited about this new car.
It's fantastic to show this car on Ulster Rally. We did a lot of tests. It was really positive, but now it will be the real test to see how the car is going on your really traditional stages on Ireland.
Day 1 of the ToddSleep.com Ulster International contains 6 special stages, where the new Citroën will get its first taste of competition on the spectacular Antrim tests.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stage 1, Knocknaboy and Bryan Bouffier and co-driver Xavier Panseri take off. The new car features a 1600 turbocharged engine, producing 210 brake horsepower and staggering torque. It puts the new machine into the R3 category against cars like the 2-litre naturally aspirated R3 Clio. After 2 days of testing on Cooley Mountain, the crew seem immediately at home, and they are 6th fastest of the Rally Northern Ireland field in Stage 1. Over the bumps, jumps and twists of Glendun, they drop a few seconds, but they are still 7th fastest overall and first 2-wheel drive.
pour pourri. Fin gauche, second gauche 43.
That's a position they hold after Torhead. Bouffier currently leads the French Rally Championship in a Super 2000 Peugeot, as well as being a main development driver for this car. Second two-wheel drive on the road is Andrew Bush in his C2 Super 1600. The Lisburn driver, however, admits to being a bit off the pace, with no rally miles since the Circuit of Ireland at Easter, and also has some handling problems to cure at service. Tommy Doyle in his R3 Clio has recurring brake problems. The Longford driver has made a good start, however, 11th overall and 3rd in two-wheel drive. Finn Matti Rantanen in his 7th two-wheel drive, but his teammate, Jaakko Nikara, is in early retirement. Alfyn Evans, son of Gwyndaf, is an impressive 5th in two-wheel drive, with his 1600 R2 Fiesta, a category that's attracting manufacturers and young drivers. And Marty McCormick is just one of those young drivers, now in his 3rd season of the C2 R2. With David Moyna on the notes, the Draperstown driver makes a real attack on this event.
160 now, flat left past the junction.
Marty currently lies 2nd in the French Citroën Trophy series, and his experience in the French asphalt certainly seems to have helped his pace, as he lies 9th, 2nd in two-wheel drive, and less than 10 seconds behind Bouvier after 3 stages. Indeed, on the hair-raising Glendon test, he was 12 seconds faster than the Frenchman. His big C2 rival this year, Robert Barrable, is 4th after an argument with the wall on Torhead, but he is indeed lucky to be still in the rally, as he aims for the Citroën Trophy UK title this weekend. After his first loop over the breathtaking Glens of Antrim stages, what does the French ace, Bouvier, think of the Irish tarmac stages?
I had a small problem on stage number 2 with the chicane. It was so narrow. I lost a couple of seconds. I was blocked on the last corner, but anyway, on stage number 1 and stage number 3, it was okay, especially on Torhead. It's a fantastic stage.
Are you making many changes to the car?
Just small changes, just small improvement on dampers, just a few clicks, but the base is very good and looks to work well.
Marty McCormick's French experience has stood him in good stead.
The French Championship has been really challenging. We've really had to find different ways and really looked at everything we were doing, and we had to take everything up a step. But we're currently 2nd in the championship at the minute, so we're in really good stead. We've 3 more rounds to go, so we're looking forward to it.
And flying here today.
Yeah, we're having a good run here today. Slight problem in the first stage. The strap came off for the spare wheel, and we lost the spare wheel rolling around the back. But we were able to rectify that okay after the first stage, and with a real good run on the 2nd and 3rd stage. So all's good.
Tommy Doyle is set to crash out in the 2nd run over Glendon, whilst Robert Barrable's crew have some repairs to do. Rob, you got the main man back to give you opposition this weekend.
Yeah, Marty's back there. He's keeping us honest, a little bit too honest when you look at the car. Now on stage 3, Torhead, we're just a little bit ambitious, probably trying to make up a little bit of lost time, and just got light on a bit of a crest and just caught the grass.
Back onto the stages as Bryan Bouffier dials himself in the new Citroën in here on the famous Glendon stage. Now more comfortable with the Irish roads, the 31-year-old French asphalt ace begins to stretch out his advantage. He is 5th fastest of the Rally Northern Ireland runners on Knockboy 2, 6th fastest on Glendon 2, and 8th fastest on Torhead 2, to lie 7th overnight and command a 55-second two-wheel drive lead. Still 2nd is Marty McCormick in the C2 R2 Max, the 197 horsepower 1600cc rocket. The more high-revving machine requires a different driving style to the DS3. Marty ends the day 9th overall, 2nd two-wheel drive, and with an almost 40-second gap to the next crew. Robert Barrable ends the day 3rd. He is using Pirelli tyres this weekend, therefore going for the points in the Citroën UK Trophy. Robert and co-driver Damien Connolly end the day in 12th place overall. Just 2 places and 12 seconds behind is Alfyn Evans. 19-year-old Oma driver Mark Donnelly is still in with a chance in the Citroën Trophy UK, and he lies 16th overall and 5th two-wheel drive despite a down-on-power engine. As the moon appears, the leading crews arrive back at the Junction 1 service, with the cars being prepared for the 8 Day 2 stages that lie ahead. It's been a good day for Bryan Bouffier.
My Citroën DS3 is working very well on the stages. I think we did interesting times. Okay, I've got a lot of fun. Everything is going well. I'm looking forward for tomorrow, and we try to push a bit more, trying to get a better result. But up to now, it's very good.
It's also been good for Marty McCormick.
Really, in the Citroën, there's nothing more we can do. I don't think, to go forward. Bryan is really starting to excel in the DS3. It's a quicker car. For us to go and try and catch first two-wheel drive, I think it's not possible. So we've got a good cushion where we're at. Good steady run tomorrow now, I think, is what we need.
And it's getting better for Barrable.
It's been a challenging first loop. Anyway, the second loop wasn't too bad. We clawed back a small bit of time, but I don't think it's going to be a tall order to claw back more time for tomorrow.
Also now clawing back time after a bad start is Andrew Bush, now 19th and 7th two-wheel drive. Having changed tracking, tyres and suspension clicks on the C2, he's looking forward to Saturday's stages. Finnish ace Matti Rantanen, fresh from a starring drive in the RAC Rally Finland, is 18th and 6th two-wheel drive in the R2 Twingo. Mark Sheehan is 8th, but is set to go much better tomorrow after discovering a throttle problem in his C2 Max. Scottish driver John McCrone is a couple of places further back in his Fiesta. Donegal's Joe McGonigal takes a stage maximum with a broken drive shaft, but he will continue on day 2, whilst Portlandone driver Desi Henry and co-driver John Rowan drive the PRH Construction C2 Max into 22nd overnight and 9th two-wheel drive. As Killarney's David Randalls powers his rare Nissan Almera kit car towards the night halt. It's a slide back in time for the Ulster Rally this year, as for the first time ever the event has become a round of the British Historic Rally Championship, with 47 crews entered, and 33 of them being from across the water. It's a nice new addition for the fans and the Northern Ireland Motor Club, as the cars from the 60s right through to 1981 race over the very County Antrim stages that were used on the Circuit of Ireland and Ulster events in these cars' heyday. Paddy Hopkirk, Roger Clark, Jimmy McRae, Ari Vatanen and Billy Coleman were all legends who drove on these stages. David Stokes is an Escort ace from the 70s, a former British national champion, and he's returned to relive his youth in historic rallying. He leads Category 2 for post-historic cars overnight by just 3.2 seconds. Jeremy Eason ends the day third in that class in a similar RS 1600 Mark 1 Escort. While spectacular in the younger Mark II Escort, young Manx driver Conor Corkle leads Category 3 by over a minute with his RS 1800 Escort. Conor's father Ian was a regular competitor on Irish shores in a similar car in the late 70s and early 80s. Will Onions is second in that class with his RS 1800. While Cookstown's Keith McIver lies second in Category 2, just 3.2 seconds back from Stokes. Derek Boyd, now in a Mark 1 Escort, is no stranger to these stages from the Circuit of Ireland in the 70s, and Desi McCartney also shows that he's lost none of his flair as he drifts the Porsche beautifully on the Torhead hairpins. Great cars providing great memories over fantastic stages. In Category 1 for pre-67 cars, Galway's Ray Cunningham and Ross Ford on the pace notes has a 44-second overnight lead in the mighty Mini Cooper S, with Castle Rock Doctor Desi Nutt second in the 2-litre Porsche 911. Desi is a multiple British and Irish historic champion. The historic crews tackle another 6 stages on day 2 before returning to the Junction 1 service finish. Conor Corkle and his co-driver Robert Fagg are fastest historic and lead Category 3 for cars built up to 1981. It's a position that they will hold to the finish as they record a momentous victory. Second place all weekend has been Will Onions in a similar RS 1800. The BDA engine sounding superb along the Cairncastle Hill Climb course. But it's a disastrous weekend for number 1 seed Oma's Ryan Barrett with gearbox issues from stage 1.
Just about a mile back there, we found the car been getting harder coming out of 3rd into 4th, and just basically same as happened yesterday, and just a gearbox problem, and just don't know what it is, and have to try and get it eliminated for the next rally. So just bad luck for the whole event this weekend. Home rally, I thought we'd done well, but just hasn't worked out this weekend. That's rallying fee, that's motorsport.
Gloucestershire baker David Stokes passes on his way to post-historic Category 2 honours for cars up to 1974. And Keith McIver takes a fine second, just 12 seconds behind, after a weekend-long battle with Stokes. Ray Cunningham wins the historic Category 1 class by 51 seconds in the little Mark 1 Mini Cooper S. But back to the main rally Northern Ireland field on the Todsleep.com Ulster International Rally. Day 2 comprises of 8 stages, including the fast Cairncastle and Slemish tests, and the Tawdry and the new Langford Lodge stage near Crumlin. Bryan Bouffier sets off before 8 a.m. on the opening Cairncastle stage. These wider, smoother roads are very much like home for the French driver, and he also gets to use the extra power of his turbocharged engine. He's 6th fastest in Cairncastle 1 and Slemish 1, and now lies 6th overall, just 1 place shy of Citroën's target for the weekend, a top 5 finish. As he powers down stage 10 Langford Lodge towards service, he leads the two-wheel drive race by almost 2 minutes.
The balance of the car is better and better. We are doing some small improvement on the dampers, and it's okay. Our position is not bad, so I will try to continue to push. And would be nice to get more place forward, but it's not so easy. Irish drivers are very quick, so but a lot of fun.
Marty McCormick starts the day 9th and 2nd in two-wheel drive, a position he should be more than happy with. He drops 1 place overall in this loop, with a little drama on the opening test when the power steering starts to cut in and out. Marty is set to take maximum points today in the Citroën Racing Trophy Ireland, and this would put him into the lead of that series with 1 round to go in Cork.
6 right is wide. What's wrong? Don't know. Water pipe is up. Oh, power steering or something. Power steering's gone. 4 right, turn 6 right wide. 120. Press the fence. We alright? Aye. 2 left minus.
We've slipped back down to 10th place there with a few issues with power steering today, but it looks like the guys are going to get that rectified now. We're going for a new pump, and hopefully that'll fix our problems. We've really, we've got a real good lead in the C2 R2s, so there's not much more we can really do. We'll try and hold 10th position and have a good steady run.
Robert Barrable is aiming to lift top points in the UK Citroën Series, forsaking his Irish points this weekend, and he lies 12th, 3rd in two-wheel drive starting day 2. But the wheels are about to come off the Dubliners' challenge on the opening Cairncastle stage. A front wheel is sheared off and his rally is finished.
Just coming down into this hairpin left here, we turned in and we just heard an awful grinding noise, and we didn't realise the wheel sheared off until we got out. So it's the end of our rally as of now, isn't it?
Alfyn Evans now inherits 3rd place in the two-wheel drive race. Mark Donnelly moves into the lead in the Citroën Trophy UK following Barrable's retirement and sets about driving for a finish. Whilst Matty Rantanen, who starred here last year in an older Clio, is dropping some time today. However, Andrew Bush is charging back up, with 3 second fastest two-wheel drive times this morning, and he climbs from 13th to 4th in two-wheel drive and catching Evans. Mark Sheehan also climbs up a few places with his engine now running correctly. Whilst Desi Henry isn't too far behind in his similar C2 Max. His co-driver John Ronan reads the notes on the fast Cairncastle stage.
100, crest jump at the tree, 200 to square left, shiny braking now. Square left, shiny braking, that's a get her brake now. Stay tidy on the exit, it's tight now. Tidy exit, 100.
The Slemish stage is nearly all new for 2010, and the drivers are simply loving these sweeping stages, and the glorious dry weather is also helping.
Watch the 3, into 5 right, 60, fast 4 right and 5 left over dip, and 3 left past the wall. Watch
For Desi and John in the third Citroën Trophy event, the stage times are beginning to get closer to the front C2 runners as they climb to 20th overall this morning.
5 left, 5 right.
With the WRC Rally, Rally Northern Ireland, the historic rally and also the national event, 148 entries have tackled this rally. In the national race, Lawrence Sean Havron brings his WRC Escort into 3rd place overall. Second and first two-wheel drive are Fintan McGarrity and Mark Hanna in their 2-litre Mark II Escort. But the winners are George Robinson and Tommy Spears. They started the final stage 10 seconds in arrears of the leader, Declan McNaughton. But when Declan crashed the Escort, it was George and Tommy who took the spoils. It was fun for the crews and spectators all weekend as we return our focus back to the main two-wheel drive field. Glenda and Kyle Boyle are 25th. David Randall's 23rd in the Nissan. And an off-road excursion on the penultimate stage drops Andrew Bush from 11th to 22nd.
5 left, 40.
Desi Henry is set to finish 17th and the 7th R2 category car home.
And 4 left, 130. Crest bump and 6 right, 220.
The 20-year-old in his C2 has been loving his home international.
6 right over crest, only 60.
And he set 6th third fastest times amongst the C2 Max runners today,
Just drive.
before being fastest Max on the very final stage. The result nets him 3rd place points amongst the Irish C2 runners. John McCrone finishes just 2.3 seconds ahead of Desi and 2nd Fiesta R2 home in 16th place. Matty Rantanen brings the little Twingo home in 15th and 5th in Class R2. Mark Donnelly 13th and 4th in R2. Mark Sheehan climbed higher all day to take 12th and 3rd in the class, and Elfyn Evans was nearly a minute ahead in 11th, 2nd in R2 and the first Fiesta runner. However, Martin nearly loses it all on the penultimate Tardry test.
120, oh, you
Marty grabs the car and grabs the R2 win, 9th overall and 2nd in two-wheel drive. The Draperstown driver moves into the lead in the Citroën Trophy Ireland, but he may have to miss the Cork round.
Pour ciel droite, attention, piège, frein pour ciel gauche 90. Ciel gauche 90.
Bryan Bouffier has got faster and faster as the weekend progressed.
150 mètres, attention, frein bosselé gauche 61. Gauche 61. Pour attention, piège. Droite 90, frein. Pour l'endroit 62 tard. 62 tard.
He is fully committed here on the narrow section near the end of the Cairncastle Stage 2.
Temps gauche à fond. 100 mètres. Taux corde, ciel gauche à fond à voir. Jette, attention, frein 80. Croisement droite 40.
Bouffier achieves Citroën's aim with a new car, 5th overall and first two-wheel drive, a fine debut. At the Junction 1 finish, the prizes are distributed on what has been a highly acclaimed Todsleep.com Ulster International Rally. The Citroën Irish Tarmac Championship will be decided in Cork on October the 2nd and the 3rd, as the tarmac tussle is decided in the surrounding Cork countryside.